Hi, Earth signs, and welcome to your Saturn retrograde tarot reading. Those of you who don't really care about what that means and don't want to hear the intro, go ahead and go to the timestamp below for your sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But for those of you who are interested in understanding what Saturn retrograde is all about, I will explain that briefly. Saturn is the planet of karma, okay? Everybody's always Mercury retrograde, Mercury retrograde. I think that Saturn retrograde is a much bigger deal, okay? So Saturn is going retrograde on April 17th and will remain that way until September 6th, okay? I've also left a link in the description below with the timestamps for an article from Astrology King. There's a lot of really good information in there. There's different astrology aspects that are happening during this retrograde that you would be well versed to read about, okay? I can't obviously explain all of it in this reading, so that's why I put the link there. But anyways, Saturn is the planet of karma, and Saturn is in its home sign of Capricorn. And when Saturn is in Capricorn, in the past, in our history, there's big, great changes that take place in the world, okay? It's because Capricorn is 10th house energy, our career and our status in the world. So universally, there's a lot taking place in the 10th house energy for you and, the world at large. Now, where Saturn is in your personal natal chart is very, very important, okay? Because where it sits in your personal natal chart is telling you what your greatest challenge and focus is for this lifetime, because Saturn is our teacher and our disciplinarian. And if you have Saturn in retrograde in your natal chart, then that means that, in past life, you did not learn that lesson, or you did some dirty. For me personally, I have Saturn in retrograde in my 11th house, and I will tell you what, the friendships that I have encountered have been quite challenging. And, it definitely makes sense to me that there's been past life energy, more of a negative sense for me in my friendships. And I totally can relate to that. And, when it's in retrograde in your natal chart and you are experiencing that energy this lifetime, you have to balance it out. You have to learn that lesson. You have to make amends. And so for me, I really feel that comes through in my tarot channel and everything I offer to all of you, okay? And no, I'm not consciously aware of this, but my soul is, and my soul knows my work that I'm here for. So, look at your natal chart where Saturn is. That is like your greatest focus this lifetime, what you are really working on and where you will find that you are most challenged, okay? Now with Saturn, to me, Saturn is like a very stern father that only truly wants the best for us, and therefore is going to be very hard, very strict, a lot of discipline to grow you to your greatest potential, okay? Now, you could think of Jupiter as like your grandma. She wants to spoil you and give you everything you want and need, whereas Saturn will reward you, okay? But not like that. You put the work in, you put the effort in, you learn the lesson, you are rewarded. So look at it like as if you went to college for 4 years. You worked all those 4 years, but when you receive that degree, that is a reward to you. That is Saturn energy. That is all day long what Saturn's trying to do. And like I said, is the planet of karma. So during the retrograde, this is really about a review of, what you've been working on with Saturn, but also the rewards. So think of Saturn also like Santa Claus. Have you been naughty or have you been nice? Because however you've been, that's what's coming back to you. Saturn doesn't care. Where you still need growth, it's going to come down hard. If you've been putting the time in, then you are going to receive the reward, okay? So with that said, there's so much more I could say about it. I highly recommend reading that link that I've left in the description, and also seeking out other sources of information about Saturn and Capricorn and Saturn retrograde, just, you know, for your own personal development, since that's what Saturn energy is all about. So I'm going to start with Taurus. If you are not a Taurus, go ahead and go to the description box below and click the link for Virgo or for Capricorn. Okay, so Taurus, let's get right into your reading. Remember, Saturn is in the 10th house, so universally that is energy we are working with. And where it is in your personal natal chart is of the utmost importance. But let's see what card the universe wants to bring out in this reading for which house you are working on through this retrograde. Also, if the house that comes out is the house that Saturn actually is in your natal chart, this will be incredibly highly significant for you, okay? So, Taurus, we have the first house for you guys. So, during this retrograde of Saturn, there is an assessment of yourself and the first house, what people see and the impression you give. So you are really having a review about what people think of you, you know, and this is perfect energy for 10th house as well, considering, you know, that's our status in the world. So paired up with the first house here, many of you, this could be all about your career, where you are either wanting advancement or you've been working really hard to learn a new skill, or now maybe you're coming into the understanding that you want to go in a completely different direction. Also, this could be about yourself, where you want to completely revamp yourself, reinvent yourself. If you've really been struggling a lot with like self-esteem and self-worth issues and having boundaries with people, the review is gonna be all about that this retrograde. Okay, so let's pull some more cards about this. So we're gonna see what you've been working on, how it relates to that first house, and then after this retrograde, where you are headed. All right, so the Spirit. Unseen forces watch over you. So this being on this side, which you've been working on, this is saying that, you know, there's probably been quite a few setbacks for you in that first house energy or 10th house or whatever, you know, Saturn is sitting in for you in your natal chart. This is saying, you know, those setbacks were for your own good. And those setbacks were also part of this growth that Saturn has been trying to teach you. So where are we headed after this? Really nice. We have the Seer. So we have Spirit and the Seer here. Follow your intuition. This to me is saying that the prize that you've had your eye on and you've been working really hard for, you will achieve. You know, recognizing your own self-worth, your value, you will achieve. Creating boundaries, like you are just in a much different place spiritually after this retrograde, based on, you know, the review that you go through during this time. You're just in a much better place, more confident about yourself, trusting your own intuition far more than you have in the past. Like, this is really like, I believe in me now, and nobody's going to take that away from me. Okay? So let's pull some tarot cards to get more information. So hard for these guys to fall together. Sorry if that was loud. There we go. All right. No, well, we got two out. Okay. Well, there we go for this side. Okay. So this came out first. So we have the Two of Cups. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune on this side. And then we have the Six of Swords. And then we have the Four of Coins. So what is this telling me, Taurus? Some of you, this review is definitely going to be about a relationship, and of either like your romance or, you know, really close friendship or family. It's just, you've been really blocked on some level. Even if you were like with somebody, it's like there's a blockage between the two of you, and it's really affected your perception of self and your self-esteem. And you're like, why can't this work? Why can't this work? Well, the universe is saying that probably through this review, this Saturn retrograde, you're going to leave this situation with the Six of Swords here, because it's just too much for you. It's too much mentally and emotionally. And that's why the blockage is there, because this particular relationship is far more harmful for you than you recognize. And after this, that's why you're the seer over here, because you see that now. After you go through this retrograde, and now this here is either you feel that whoever this relationship is was only using you for what you had, or you're now deciding to focus primarily on yourself and your career and your finances. Okay. For others of you, with this first house, I feel this has everything to do with the relationship with yourself, okay? And finally, it's like, again, you're going to start loving yourself and knowing your worth, and you're going to let go of, you know, all the things of the past, like, why did that person do that to me, or why did this work out that way? It's like you're going to just let that go. You're going to become, you know, eased about it, and like, you know, there's some things I just can't understand, but I'm going to move forward, because you're going to have this energy that makes you feel better, okay? Some of you, this is like you've been very superficial, okay? You've been very superficial to the relationships in your life, and you've only been focused on money. But through this review, it's like you're moving out of that energy, and you're just going to see your relationships and yourself from a whole different perspective, okay? So that definitely will play out differently for all of you. Let's take a look now at the transition of this energy after we move out of the retrograde. And I don't know if I said it, but the retrograde is April 17th through September 6th. These are so slippery, but I will take that as it is time to stop shuffling. Oh yes, this is a perfect card to come out first. We have the Three of Cups in this position. It's different than this position. This is ultimate gratitude deep in your heart and soul. This is praising whatever deity you believe in, okay? And to me, it's just like incredibly profound insight you receive through this retrograde, and you are so grateful on the other side of this. Like, just, this is an awesome pairing of cards right there. And now we have this Knight of Wands. Now, some of you with this, what I see is you are going to set off on a new adventure. Okay, definitely, with a far more confidence and zest about yourself. For others of you, this is talking about the relationship over here. And I feel you finally see the recognition of this person. If this is about romance, this is a fire sign, Leo, Sag, Aries, since this is the Knight of Wands. And with that, it's like you're finally seeing that this particular person is, you know, somebody who comes in, loves hot and heavy and hard, but, you know, is out just as quickly. Like, how did your feelings evaporate overnight like that? And it's just like they're kind of an in and out energy, and it's really put you in a place of confusion in the past. But after you go through this retrograde, you know, you're not dealing with it. In the Saturn retrograde, a lot of breakups happen because people just wise up and they're like, nope, I can't do this a minute longer. And it's not like a devastating pain when you come to that realization. It's very empowering and liberating, okay? So some of you, you're just really recognizing who this person is. If this is like a friend or a family member, again, it's kind of the same energy. Like, I'm only here when I need something from you, and then I'm out again. And you're not gonna put up with it anymore. But I think overall, this is really talking about your energy, and it's like a whole new zest for life. Yeah, because look at this. We have the Star next. Great healing. This is all about dreaming big and wishing, wishes coming true. But this is like great healing and great balance within Taurus, on the other side of this retrograde, which I like. I like your reading a lot. So let's see what is rewarded here. All right, you are destined to succeed. So everything you've been working on with Saturn, Taurus, like, you've got it. You're going to make it to that other side, and you're not going to have to go through another transit with Saturn in the same lesson, just in a different type of energy, okay? Because Saturn ain't ever going to get off your butt until you get what you are supposed to understand and learn, because Saturn wants to grow you to your greatest potential. So you got it. You're going to get it all figured out through this retrograde. Yeah, and then look at this. We have the dragon, strength and wisdom. But with this, it's talking about a worthy challenge or a dangerous adversary. And the dragon breathes fire, right? So there we have that connection to the fire sign once again. And I just feel, again, with the seer, you are not going to be fooled anymore by this particular person or by people in general. You're like, no more. No more. You take too much from my heart and my soul. So let's pull some final energies to wrap this up. Yeah, look at that. Mars, your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit. You are just, if you are in a bad relationship and you know it, and you just haven't been able to get out of it. You're like, I love this person, or you've just been confused, or you're like, I don't know if I have enough resources, like whatever it is, like Mars is coming in to give you the stamina, the endurance, the courage, the strength to push forward out of it, okay? If this is about self-improvement, here comes Mars again. It's just like you're going to get the energy for all the motivation that you need to make this final shift for whatever this is for you, okay? So that's great energy there. And look at over here, the moon. Yep, how beautiful with the seer. This is letting you know, Taurus, that, again, nobody can pull the wool over your eyes after you get through this retrograde. Your assessment and review is just going to really wake you up, and you're going to see how much this person or these relationships, whatever it is, has attacked your self-worth and your self-esteem and brought you down. And you're going to just be like, yeah, no more. You're lost, fool. I'm out. You have no idea. And over here, see, on this side with the spirit and the great wheel, it's like you don't understand why this can't work. Why? But over on this side, after the retrograde, you have the seer. You know why. There's no question or confusion for you anymore. You are free with that star. All right. Look at this. Nice. I love that we have Capricorn pairing up with what you've been working on, because that is Saturn's ruler right there. Okay, Capricorn. You have been on a long journey, Taurus, and you have accomplished a lot, and you will get through this. Like I said, with Mars and Capricorn paired up for your retrograde, you're going to be like on fire by the time you get to the other side. So let's pull. All right, look at that. We have Sagittarius. The energy imbues power, superior confidence, and enthusiasm with faith and good fortune and authority. Yes, look at that. You have these fire energies coming in to give you all the motivation and all the energy you need to get through this and transition into the seer, where your confidence is restored in who you are, and you're not going to put up with anybody's crap after that. You're not. You will know that if you are choosing to, like, you know you're betraying yourself now because you see the truth, okay? So, Taurus, those are the messages for you during this retrograde. And I personally feel that Saturn retrograde is far more significant in our lives than Mercury. So that's why I made a video for all of you. Again, I highly recommend reading the link that I've left in the description, and also seeking out other sources of information about Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. So I am wishing you all the best, Taurus. Take care. Hi, Virgo. Let's pull a card for you and see which house is highlighted for you along with the 10th house for this retrograde. And the card that comes out, if your Saturn is sitting in this house in your personal natal chart, highly significant reading for you. Okay, so you guys have the 3rd house, your potential to learn something, and your local neighborhood. Also, this is about the intellect and your communication style with other people. So that, to me, being paired up with the 10th house, could mean that, you know, your career has a lot to do with being out in the public somehow, some way. But with that being learning and communication, that could just be so many different things. You could even be like teaching somebody, or you've been really learning. So let's pull some energies to see what you've been working on and where you're headed after this retrograde. All right, so you have the Dragon, strength and wisdom. So this is a worthy challenge or a dangerous adversary. You have been working hard on growing yourself. Many of you, I feel like this is all about your career, climbing that ladder, learning, obtaining a degree, a certification, learning how to better communicate yourself, present yourself. Something about, you know, being out in the spotlight in a sense, definitely in career. But you've really been growing yourself big time, and you've probably dealt with somebody that's been really challenging you in this 3rd or 10th house energy. And then over here where you're headed is the Knight, triumph over adversary. So yeah, to me, Virgo, this says that you are going to get through this retrograde review like easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy, but what I feel is like you guys actually have been doing your work, because as I said, Saturn is like Santa Claus. Have you been naughty or nice? Because it's the planet of karma. So who you've been is what comes back to you during this time of retrograde. But I really feel, the Virgo I'm reading for, you are really working hard to do the right thing and grow yourself and expand yourself, and you do triumph over this dragon, if that is somebody who's really been challenging you in the workplace. Just 3rd house, 10th house, I guess that could be any type of relationship. It's more about learning and communication and your career, but this is general, so. All right. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I love it on this side. It means like you're not pushing against it. This is the Hanged Man. Wow, you have nothing but major arcana. I love it. So you see the Magician on here. So I'm seeing the Magician and the High Priestess. So you go from being in this state. This is where Saturn's been working you, and this is like a better side than this side. It's like, you know, I understand my place and how my hand, you know, pushes that wheel. And it's like you've really been working on coming into understanding your true power and taking responsibility for your life and trying to find better ways to handle, you know, difficult people and situations. And this is the rite of passage. You made it onto the other side. This is the Temple of Wisdom, and the High Priestess has allowed you access. So let's pull some more cards about where we're headed. All right, so we have the Four of Wands, the Judgment card, and we have the Two of Swords. So after this review, the reward on the other side of this is definitely, look at that, the sun and the moon there. I really feel like you're victorious over this energy. You overcome this. So whatever person or situation has been holding you back, like with Judgment there, you know, it's all about karma coming full circle. So Saturn is the planet of karma, and with her face that way, that's telling me your hard times are passing. The danger is leaving your life. You know, it's very significant for you guys. Yeah, look at, we have the Spirit over here, and then we have the Seer on the other side. So Taurus got those, but in different positions. This to me is like you are so divinely protected and guided, Virgo. You know, trust yourself over anybody else, okay? Like you have the rites of passage. Those of you that have really, this is a total spiritual reading, you've been working on the esoteric yourself, you have passed the test, my friend. Your initiation, however you want to look at it, you have the rites of passage into the great temple. Mercury, look at this, goes with the third house. This is how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. This is, again, the higher mind. You are really expanding through this retrograde spiritually. This is all on the spirit level for you guys. Look at that. We have Venus, the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. So we are in a much happier, abundant energy on the other side of this retrograde because you have been putting in your work. Man, you guys have the rites of passage. That's all I got to say. Okay. All right. So we got two. Look at this. We have Pisces over here. The energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. Yeah, you are going to just be badass mentally, that higher mind, and spiritually, like super, super. I just feel so strong for those of you who are like psychics, readers, intuitives, empaths, all of that. It's obviously for everybody, but this is so spiritual. And now we have Aquarius energy over here. The energy is freedom, love, fun-loving, rebellious, idealistic, and technological. So it's like restriction and heavy energy that you've been working with, but you're so damn bright and brilliant. You overcome it, and bam, you win, Virgo, you win. And there's, you know, the hard times are past because you see the road ahead. So that is your reading. I hope that, you know, this has brought you a little bit of guidance. Again, I hope that you will check out that link and also really look at your personal natal chart and see, you know, where your Saturn is, where Capricorn is, all of it. And you will know so much more than this reading could ever offer. So I bid you a farewell, Virgo. Take care. Hi, Capricorn. So let's get right in. Let's see which other house is highlighted for you. Besides that 10th house, we have the 12th house. So this is like a big deal for you. This is the area of your life that is overwhelming. You yield to a greater cause or power. So if you have your Saturn in your 12th house, this is going to be a very significant reading for you. Okay. So your 10th house and 12th house, this is all about destiny. Some of you, this is 100% about your career, but for others of you, it's, you know, definitely about something else. But it is about your destiny and things kind of being out of your hands. So it's interesting that that's how Saturn's been working with you, right? So let's pull a card to see the energy and then where you're headed. Oh, yes, the fates have blocked you. Yep. So there's something you've been really wanting or working towards, and it's like it's just not happening, and it's It's about destiny. But where are you headed? Awesome. The unicorn, good fortune and friendship. So you have been doing your work, Capricorn, and Saturn is your ruler. You are the owner of the 10th house. So this is really powerful for you guys. Let's pull some tarot cards to get more information. You know, wherever this really speaks to you in your life, where you've really been blocked, it's because like it's the hand of fate, okay? But it's not like it's a permanent hindrance, because you, after this retrograde, after the review of everything, you are on the other side there with good fortune and friendship. So whatever's been holding you back and restricting you, it was only for like your greater good, to grow you for wherever, you know, Saturn is trying to help you out in life. Yeah, endings. You have not, and look at this, we have love, and then we have work. So some of you, this is about love or work mainly, and a relationship that ended, or a job that ended, or just unable to move forward. It's just hindrance, blockages. And this is saying with this ace this way, that you were not seeing it for what it truly was, and that's why the universe was blocking you, because it truly was not in your best good. And now, as you will recognize that through this retrograde, and you'll be happy for it. And then on the other side, once all that energy is balanced and you're in that understanding, you go into that unicorn energy, which is super awesome energy. So we have the moon. Yep, you pass through an initiation of sorts, okay? And then we have the 10 of Wands. And then we have this 2 of Pentacles. So I really feel like on the other side of this heavy weight is now off of you. And, you know, you are so happy for it. So let's see. And with that moon, you've really, seriously, you're going to grow and learn deeply at a subconscious level. And you have gained so much through all of this. And on the other side of this retrograde, you have more choices than you expected or anticipated. There's just unexpected opportunities on the horizon. And you were blocked from this because, honestly, Capricorn, it was not in your favor. It was not going to do you good. All right, so we have Earth. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. Yep, you were totally being grown in either this job situation or this romantic situation. And on the other side, your surroundings will undergo transition. Yes, winds of change. So this struggle, Cap, is ending. It is ending, and I mean that for those of you who have been putting in the work and trying to understand. It's just like something that ended abruptly, or, you know, you just weren't seeing a person or a situation that as it should have been. But it changes. Like, you're just going to get it through this review. Yeah, we have Mercury, how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. So this is all about the higher mind, okay? This is intellectual understanding and growth. And again, it's your destiny. The universe has a big hand in this, and that's why you were blocked. And then over on this, oh, look at this to me, Saturn coming out on this side. The part of you that accepts challenges to gain wisdom. This is Saturn saying, I am rewarding you for all that you have been through. You've earned your degree. You've put in your work. So let's just pull 2 more cards to wrap this up. We have Sagittarius. The energy imbues power, superior confidence, and enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. Yeah, this is saying like growing your higher mind and your spirit. Like Jupiter rules Sagittarius. This is like lucky energy. So you've been growing your higher mind and your spirit. And then, you know, we come over here to the other side of this retrograde, and look at that. We have Pisces with Saturn, and Pisces is the 12th house. So those of you that have Saturn in your 12th house in your natal chart, this is just a crazy reading for you because Saturn rules Capricorn, and Pisces, and that's 10th house energy, which we're dealing with. And here's Pisces, and Pisces is 12th house. So for you guys, really big emphasis on 10th house and 12th house energies. So along with the link that I've left for you to read even more in depth about Saturn retrograde, I would highly recommend really digging into your own chart, because again, Saturn is where it is in your chart is our greatest focus, where we're really learning this lifetime. And it will just help you understand the challenges that you experience and face, and then be like, oh, well, I'm learning, I'm growing there, so this means I can overcome it. And I think that's really what you guys are understanding, is like your own personal power and like a divine timing, and you know, your own kind of destiny. And it's very matured, grown energy, mentally and spiritually, which transitions us over here where I feel Saturn says, listen, you have completed this journey with this energy, because we have 12th house and then Pisces confirming that, and Saturn saying, I give you your reward through the unicorn and the winds of change. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope this reading has helped you out, and I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.